This week here on RPM on RTE, we're still in Killarney, but now we concentrate on the battle in Group N. Well, Seamus Leonard and Gary Jennings will want to put the memories of their last couple of rallies behind them. Things not working out too well in Galway and on the Circuit of Ireland. So they came to Killarney then with high hopes, but also into the mix there was one Alan Ring. He was local, he's also fast. He's been a winner here before in Killarney and also a winner on the Monaghan Stages rally. So therefore the battle at the top was going to be some battle.
The Lakes of Killarney are welcoming hundreds of competitors to the Ordnance Survey International Rally of the Lakes. Last week we saw how the WRCs fared. Now it's the turn of Group N and all the other classes.
The awesome Malls Gap stage has opened the rally 25 times in its 27-year history. But it's not the only challenge in day one. Gorton again is longer, Rockchapel faster in places, and Brennick River is an old Circuit of Ireland classic. There are 9 tough and blindingly fast tests on day one.
The production lineup is impressive. Gary Jennings, the 2005 Tarmac Group N champion, who has local man James O'Brien on the notes this weekend. Kerryman Alan Ring, the winner in 2004 and runner-up last year, will be guided by Brian Duggan in their Subaru N12. The big West Cork fellow Kevin Kelleher has hired a Mitsubishi Evo 9 for the big occasion. Seamus Leonard, the old production car master, has his new Evo 9 and it's very much to his liking. John McCafferty reads the notes. And James Foley from Navan and Circuit of Ireland Group N winner Roy White from Clonmel are in similar Mitsubishis. But who's going to be ahead at the gap? It's Seamus Leonard, despite the fact that he's being badly held up by Eddie Gary. Still, he's 2.7 seconds quicker than anyone over the famous 19.3 kilometre test.
Past Leon. And the 2 left continues for 100. At the caution, square right on the narrow bridge. Square right on the narrow bridge.
Stage 2, Gorton again. Seamus continues to stretch that lead. But this is ragged edge motoring from the Oma driver.
Double caution, 4 left. And the flat crest bump. The 5 right.
Oh, that was a close one. It's Colin Murphy who lost those 2.7 seconds over the gap. The Galway Group N winner isn't happy as he feels his Subaru is down on par. He had hoped it was a turbo problem, but it proved to be worse than that. By the 3rd stage, he was out of the rally. Things have changed at the gap this year as a road widening scheme is in progress. But rather than helping the competitors, the temporary loose surface is adding to their challenge.
Left 2, 60. Right 3 in, 150. Turn left 5, 40. Left 4, 100. Right 1 minus over crest 60. Right 3, 40. Stay out to rock. Right 4 plus. Left 3, 80. Right 2 flat, 200 down the middle. Crest minus into left 2, 60 over crest, care, left 4 plus. 130. Right 2, 60 over crest. Left 1, stay out, 60. Left 3 plus, in tight, 60. Right 3 tight, 60. Right 3, 170 to crest to sign.
Murphy's demise has promoted Alan Ring and Brian Duggan to 2nd. And he's about to come across another of his arch rivals in the ditch on the Rockhall stage, Gary Jennings.
Okay, go on to him. 100. Right 3 in over crest, small gravel. 120.
The 2005 champion is having a rough year. Jennings' best result has been 4th on the circuit. He's 3rd fastest up the gap, but 8 seconds off the pace, and that's not normal for the Fermanagh man. James O'Brien must be calling too many of those back-off notes. He certainly didn't call enough of them on stage 3. Kevin O'Donoghue is an excellent 4th fastest. almost a second faster than a heavily understeering James Foley, the driver who nearly won in Galway. And Roy White is a further second in arrears in the FESP Mitsubishi. Sometimes Roy takes a while to wake up. Mitsubishis are in the majority with 3 more Evo 9s in the next 3 positions. Kevin Kelleher from Clonakilty, PJ McGrath from New Ross, who's been reseeded from number 67. And John McLaughlin, the Cookstown driver, who's also been reseeded. James O'Sullivan can certainly make it look spectacular. No wonder the hazard lights are on. And here's a photo opportunity. Hat Price is in big bother with a puncture on the very first stage.
We're having a good run, like everything's going well for Spong. The car's brilliant, the car's excellent actually. Just it was unfortunate what happened to us on the circuit, like we just got the car for the circuit, but I suppose the mileage I got in the circuit has paid off here now.
Yeah, so far so good. Seamus obviously is putting his mob in us every stage at the moment, but on these stages it suits his car, so he can have a few seconds on these stages.
We haven't had the car since Galway, so it's hard to get an edge on these boys when they're out every other weekend, but the car is fantastic. The speed of the car is tremendous. If I can just stay with it and try and keep it between these very, very quick going by hedges.
Yeah, I'm going to push on now, you know, with those stages being so fast, you know, I thought it was going quick, but it ended up not, so, you know, I need to change that now and, you know, try and get back on the pace.
There's no Moulds Gap run in the afternoon, but Rockchapel, Blennock River and Knocknagree are run again, and Gorton again is reversed to become Ballydaly. Seamus had another scare on the first run over Knocknagree.
4 right plus past house. 4 right plus past house. Good stuff. 130. 3 left at wall.
During the second run through Rockchapel, Seamus Leonard and John McCafferty are trailing the bumper of their Evo 9 and trailing it at over 100 kilometres an hour.
Stay middle of a flat crest, easy. 3 left cuts into 3 right. Double caution, hairpin left over bridge. 40, hairpin left over bridge. 200. 200. Long hairpin right. Continues over crest. Long flat to right. 200. Flat to left over crest. 100. Flat 3 left cuts. 250.
At Knocknagree, they up the speed to 105 kilometres an hour.
Right over crest, tightens over dip.
No wonder John needs to be calmed a little.
Calm down, John. Crest jump with the 5 left. 6 right tightens past junction. And square left, don't cut.
This pair have been fastest in every stage today. That's domination, and Alan Ring is obviously trying, as he's 9 kilometres faster than Leonard at this point on the Rockwell stage. But 5 kilometres slower in Knocknagree.
Right 4.
Quick on this?
Right 4, yeah. Oh,
That's an understatement.
Right 4 gravel. Repeat. Right 4 gravel 60. Left 5 and right 5 hog late 100.
Alan Ring and Brian Duggan are just half a minute behind the Mitsubishi, and with 7 stages to go, Alan's chances of a second Killarney victory are still only a puncture away. An ailing George Cullen has been caught by a flying Foley on the Ballydaly stage. However, Roy White has promised to speed it up, and he is faster than Foley in the final test of the day. Kevin Kelleher is 5th. And recovering Willie Fannin 6th, following manifold problems earlier in the day. Young Conor McCluskey gets a little bit out of shape here, but he's inside the top 10 of the Group N runners.
People love the modified men for their tail-out action on the Irish Tarmac rounds, and the Ordnance Survey Rally of the Lakes is no exception. Davis, the long trip from Wales has been spoiled by a short run through the Kerry Mountains, as Metro 6R4 will shortly retire with drive shaft problems. The modified class is dominated throughout by that Welsh wizard of the stages, Phil Collins, and his Irish co-driver, Enda Sherry. Mark Courtney and Paul Kelly keep their Celica between the ditches to take second place. Something that Tom Holton is not always good at, but when it comes to entertainment, the Enfield driver is unsurpassed. Following a change of an intercooler, he's back on the pace. Wesley Patterson also has a much modified Mark II, and the Lisburn driver remained in third place throughout the weekend, finishing a minute and a half behind the Collins escort. Johnny O'Sullivan recovered from this and drive shaft problems to take fourth place amongst the modified men.
There's a big change in the weather as they head up the gap again on day 2. Ballochbeamer Pass is next, then the fabulous Carra Lake and Kilgobnet stage before a much-needed service. Seamus Leonard starts the day with a 28-second advantage over Alan Ring. We're in those classic sweepers now up to Galway's Bridge. The problem is they all look the same.
6 right tightens. 6 right tightens. 60 for crest. 5 left don't cut. And 5 right. A double caution 3 right 40. Right and 2 left for bridge. West the curbs, turn square right. 60. Flat 2 right and 5 left.
Again they will be fastest over the gap. But Alan Ring, the Ring of Kerry, who is the former Formula Ford racing champion, is not throwing in the towel yet.
Right 3 in, 150. Turn left 5. 40. Fence 20, left 4, 100.
There's a new surface after the gap, and this part of the stage now is very, very fast.
Stay out to rock. Right 4 plus, left 3, 80. Right 2 flat, 200, down the middle. Crest minus, into left 2, 60 over crest, care left 4 plus.
Through the lunar landscape at Ballochbeamer, Alan will post his first fastest time of the rally, 9 seconds quicker than Leonard. The counter-attack has begun, but sadly it won't last long.
Right 180, right 4.
We had an overshoot in the last stage and stalled it twice getting back out. So we're on a hold station. It's safer.
Are you still ahead of James though?
Yeah, we're a minute ahead of James, so we'll just try and bring her home, I think.
Well, that's put paid to any chances of a second Killarney Group N win. Now here's a fired-up Foley. James's 3-month layoff has been forgotten, and the Navan rally expert is up to speed and just over half a minute behind Ring in third place and looking very determined. Kevin O'Donoghue has moved ahead of Roy White in fourth place during the Sunday morning stages. White started the day in an aggressive mood and certainly gave the Gap audience plenty to coo about, but he's hit trouble.
We broke a transfer shaft in the front diff, so we got that changed in service and we dropped about a minute Then I got a puncture in Cara Lake. I dropped about a minute there, so it's been an eventful morning.
Willie Fannin, who had a bad start to the event, is now moving up the leaderboard, and he's the second of the fast Subarus. But it's time to salute the class winners.
Class 2 is a Honda affair with McQuinn and Enda McLaughlin taking third. John Gallagher and Brendan McElhinney are second. And Tommy Doyle, the Longford driver, and Andy Donoghue are the Class 2 winners by over 5 minutes. They move up into third in the championship. Billy Hayes and Pierce Donaghy are third in Class 3 in their Peugeot 306. John Murphy and Liam Moynihan are second in their Honda Civic. And the hard-charging Eugene Megan from Monaghan and Paul McGee take the class in their Honda Type R, again by 5 minutes. Eugene has a 27-point lead in the series. Andrew Stewart and Tony Gallagher are third in Class 5, but continue to lead the Tarmac Championship. Michael Herbert and Ted Gaffney are runners-up in their Micra. And Andrew Fanning from Kerr and Alan McCormick win the class in their Ford Puma. And this time, it's by 10 minutes. Andrew Bush and Martin McGarrity are third in Class 6 and also lead the series by 20 points. Andrew Brown and Barry Sheridan have a wild ride to second in class in another Peugeot 106. But the class win goes to a Peugeot 206 driven by Keith Cronin from Ballylickey, with Anthony O'Connell calling the notes. They win by just under 3 minutes. Jeff Wright and Chris Sanderson are third in Class 7 in their Nissan Almera. David Randalls and John Young in another Almera are second and lead the series. And the winners of Class 7, Guy Wilcock from Flintshire and Phil Harrison in their Escort Maxi, 5 minutes ahead of their rivals.
60. 5 right, gravel, mud, tightens careful now, and 3 left, tightens long over crest.
Yes, there was plenty of action in the classes, and plenty of action also amongst the historic and classic runners.
Ray Cunningham and Richard Harland were victorious here last December in the historic rally, and this time they come home in 5th place and are winners of Class B2. Sean Tracy and Billy Regan are 4th in their glorious BMW 2002 Ti. Dennis and Dan Moynihan made 3rd place in their Mark 1 Escort, just behind this car of Joe and Gareth Connolly. But it's Killarney man Todd Falvey with Dan Barry on the notes, who win the historic and classic section in their beautiful Porsche 911, just 10 seconds ahead of the Escort. As the air taxi speeds off to catch up with the Group N front runners, the historians continue to entertain at Moll's Gap. It's a drifting competition. John Farrell was a definite contender, but Edward Gibbons, Hillman Avenger, has to be the winner.
It's fitting that the Gap again plays its part in the closing chapter of our Group N tale. The final loop of 4 stages, Moll's Gap, Ballochbeamer, Cara Lake and Kilgobnet, should be an easy run home for Seamus Leonard and John McCafferty. But it's wet, tyre choice is critical, and only a little over a minute separates them from their Subaru pursuers.
Top one right, 60. Careful tyres now. 60. Battery right, sign, 80. Top one left for jump.
There'll be no records on the Gap this time, just as always on this prestigious stage, the honour of being the fastest.
Caution, 4 right tightens, 3 left, the middle 100, flat 3 left, flat 3 left, 150 over jump, 1 left over jump, and 3 right.
Those sweepers before Galway's Bridge are particularly tricky on slick tyres. Seamus is very cautious at the gap as he tenderfoots his Lancer to the finish of the mountain stage.
3 right, and the 4 left going cut, 80. That 1 left, past finish. Oh, slippy.
Jeez, that was a slippy stage. Oh God, was a hairy stage, eh? Well, we did have the best we could.
Oh, you did well. Hey, but them tyres, what do you think?
I think we'll go on to the REs. No,
you changing?
Aye, we'll go on to the REs.
So no more heroic tyre choices then by the Oma driver over the final 3 stages. Alan Ring has it all to do, and these conditions may suit the Subaru. Things are treacherous at Galway's Bridge, and these are not conducive conditions when you're trying to claw back time.
Left 4 plus hug. 80. Left 3.
Well, that's torn it. They've got a puncture.
Into right 4, opens 100. Puncture now. Bump tight. Left 3, don't cut. Double in 360.
Don't think so.
Right 3. Left 3 over bump.
Don't know, we're very fucking stacking the front of it.
Into left 3. Right 3 tight. Into right 3 tight 100.
Have we?
Must have care. Right 3 into left 5 in at barriers.
We stop and change it?
Yeah, after it.
James Foley is the only other one in the frame now, and he really goes for it on the gap to set fastest time on stage 14. But he's left his assault too late, and despite Ring's problems, he has to settle for second. Kevin O'Donoghue has moved ahead of the ailing Roy White and up to 4th. But White and Stephen McCauley are having problems late in the event. PJ McGrath loses his way slightly here. But in spite of a few major diversions along the way, he's now 6th. James Foley and Dominic Markey finally finished just 36 seconds behind Ring in 3rd place. Alan Ring and Brian Duggan had to settle for 2nd after the Malls Gap puncture. But it's been a big win for Seamus Leonard and John McCafferty, who were never seriously threatened throughout the weekend. Their winning margin is 1.5 minutes.
Like when I seen the rain coming, I said to myself, oh, maybe this isn't going to be my day. We had a problem on Friday before we started the rally, but it was a good job I didn't hear about the problem, because it probably would have been on my mind the whole weekend. I hear we got a new back diff before we started the rally. Going to scrutiny, the diff fell out of the back of her, so it did.
A great weekend for Seamus, but Colin Murphy still leads the series, and Seamus and Roy now tie for 2nd.